Can you be with a woman?
Nope. Nope.
Already.
Nah.
That boy got trauma. All right, lock in, bro.
Let's go. Pressing on with the main thing, despite people's attack on you and your journey.
Listen to yourself think. What does your mind voice sound like? Do you think your mind voice is inherent to your mind? Or do you think you've developed your mind voice based off hearing your speaking voice?
If somebody does something, I'm like, hell nah. Like in my mind, I'm saying, hell nah. Might be a little more profane in my words, but she was told, do not eat from the fruit.
Okay.
Do not eat from the fruit of the tree of life.
Don't kill me for this one.
I ain't gonna do it. I'm just kidding.
Did she really have a choice? If hell was reserved already before he showed his ass, that means we already knew at some point he's gonna cut up and is already reserved for you to be down there.
All right, we go. Keep it a buck. We back. It's your boy Jarvis.
I'm your boy J.E.
Hey, back for another one.
Been a while.
It's been a little bit. Yeah. We've been working though. We've been working.
Been in the lab.
We've been
We've been
working. Summertime's here.
Definite.
Summertime's here. Like, I'm gonna say it, because it's gonna be out by then. May 24th.
Ooh.
I need y'all in the building. May 24th. Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Baseball game. Beautiful game, but it's Honey Dripper weekend. Shout out to Miss Alice, and her culture evolution of bringing the Honey Drippers into the community. And then we got the Jumbo Shrimp that's celebrating that. We're going to have a day party at the grounds, Vostar Ballpark, Tiki Terrace. We taking over 5 o'clock sharp. We starting. The music going to be playing. The way I feel, it feels like ecstasy.
I think we got a special guest coming too. Who you got throwing that first pitch?
First pitch, my dog Young Cash. You feel me? And Shawty, and then I got my guy Lil Nut, aka
gonna be in the building too.
Nod Ross gonna be in the building, hosting it officially. Good friends of yours, man. So we appreciate them coming out, man. And it's gonna be a good one, dog. It's gonna be fun, a lot of fun. Hey, doors open at 5. We're going to have the party going till about 8:30. Enjoy the game. Get the tickets. Get the tickets through our Instagram bio, through our link tree. You'll see it there. Keep it a buck day party. Hashtag KIAB day party. It's going to be a good time, though.
I think it's safe to say this is probably going to be the biggest day party of the year.
Biggest day party of the year in the city.
I agree.
But
I think it's going to be the biggest day party of the year.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close. And I ain't even no promoter. I don't even do this. We don't do this. But I ain't no promoter at all. But I tell you what, if it go well, we might have some more in store.
Definitely.
But it will go well.
I'm more excited to see the highlight video of the aftermath.
Of that. That's
how crazy this day party is.
That's a fact. A guy gonna be out there too.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people looking forward to us being out there. Top tier production. What up, Chris? What up? Yeah, man. Let's do it though. Jump into it. J-E-Q&A.
Oh man. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Josh Evans Keep It a Buck Q&A session. Get your mind right, Jarvis. Go ahead. Get your mind right.
From me.
Get your mind right. All right. Can you be with a woman?
Nope. Nope.
Already.
Nah.
That boy got trauma. All right. Lock in, bro.
Let's go.
Can you be with a woman who was a complete thought back in the day, but is perfect for you now and changed her ways? Here's the catcher. You have to live in the same neighborhood she was a thought in.
Nah. Not the neighborhood.
Y'all live in that neighborhood?
Not the neighborhood.
She good though. She done changed her life.
Not the neighborhood. Shout out to the 60s, but not the neighborhood.
Okay. So you can't do the neighborhood. You had to live outside the neighborhood.
Yeah, man.
So her being a thought won't bother you.
Like people change, bro. People change. People elevate. People grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's take it out of the context of, like, men and women together. Bro, if I'm really bad at my job and I elevate and I grow and I do things to change, I would hope that a big company, looks at me and says, hey, you know what? You've made some changes. We want you to come aboard. And so it's the same thing, man. People change. People go through things. But here's the thing. You go through things, but when you living in the same neighborhood and I got to see all the things you went through.
You got to see that.
Nah. I'm
but
good.
She good to you, though.
I believe it. I would hope you would be. Nah, I can't do it. Nah, not in the same neighborhood.
I mean, you can't talk about growth and maturity, but feel like I can't do it because she done changed, but it's the same neighborhood. If that's the case, she done got promoted. She's on a new level now. She's a new person.
True or false? When you grow, things die off, right?
Sometimes.
Imagine seeing everything that's supposed to die off walking by you every day, dog. Getting in their car.
It's the reality.
How you doing, Jarvis? Good. You know what my woman feel like,
the
man.
work is nasty.
Yeah, it's nasty. You know what my woman look like, feel like, smell like.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
Can't know what she smell like. Yeah,
and don't let me look over and I'm going to take, I'm taking her out or something, and then she smirk, and when she look at, hey, how you doing, Jarvis? Oh, I'm good, man. And she looking,
that's gonna rub you the wrong way.
She got a twinkle in her eye. I done been with, that's happened to me before.
No.
Nah, I done been with somebody who had a twinkling, Yeah, but we'll
okay. We might
we'll go off camera on that one. Yeah.
I want to get your perspective on this one.
All right.
If God is the creator of good and evil,
I like this.
Does that make him partially evil?
I like this. No.
Explain.
No. And to my all non-believers, leave me alone ahead of time. I'm gonna tell you that right now. In my opinion, not in my opinion, I know it happened when the fact that he has created good and evil, he's given you choice. That he's created a choice. I think what people don't understand about the God that I serve and I know is that he wants you to choose him. He really wants you to look at him, look at his work, see what he's done, and say, Father, I choose you. He wants to be chosen. It's like a parent. You want your children to choose you. So he gives you the choices. Those choices a lot of times are good and evil. And he wants you to go, he knows what's going to happen each route you go down, but he wants you to choose the right route based on what's right and what's wrong. So you have to create that to get the best person. All of the things that we do now that are good, that are great, have happened because of the bad that has happened. They've happened because of that. If all we know is good, we don't know how evil is. I don't know how hot it is until it's freezing cold. And then I go back and it's like, yeah, this is hot. Okay, it's hot. But if I've never seen cold and you tell me it's hot and I'm just experiencing heat, it's like, this is normal. This is what I do. You got to create that choice.
To be devil's advocate to that,
all right,
those choices could have been anything else. Why did the choices have to be good and evil?
What's another choice? Like, what's the choice between good and evil?
I guess I'm
neutral.
That kind of is what you said. I guess the question to that would be: has humans taken evil to different levels? Like, was this like a starter evil, and then we made different levels to this, or no? Evil was always just in its own bubble of all of that is the same thing.
I think and again, it's all my opinion. I think when you choose good and evil. If you choose evil in that subsection of that evil that you chose, there's good and evil. Now, it might not be named good and evil. It might be lesser evil and much more evil. But I feel like people choose the levels of, evil. It's like a white lie. Okay. If somebody tells a white lie, you know what I'm saying? Or opposed to somebody just straight up,
I feel like I'm walking the fence. I want to be real direct. So when when I hear of good and evil, it's like good and then be extreme, right? Like when I'm saying it could have been a different comparison. Like it could have been good and bad could have been probably being disrespectful or your tone of voice or how you say stuff. Like it's not good, but correctable. Like there's certain evil that's like, damn, bro. Like, for example,
like you ain't right.
Yeah, like you ain't living right. Like you completely
sick,
messed up, and it's like our God is the creator of that, and you're saying he's not technically affiliated with it. He's just the creator.
He's not the creator of that person's choice. He's the creator of
the choice.
The choice. As people, we have free will to choose what we want to do, and again, I feel as if we have it laid out through experiences, through teachings, through happenings of what to do. Now, if you don't do that, then you can go down a path that's, as wild as you want to go down. But he's giving you a choice to say, hey, look, you can do this or you can do that in every single scenario, whether it be a quick second or whether it be something, long lasting. And, I don't think the fact that he created everything is it's not like, I created murder for it to be. No, he created death. You know what I'm saying? He didn't create murder, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? People took it upon themselves to say, hey, I want to end the life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nah, he created death, No,
I think my takeaway, you kind of answered it real well when you said we have to know how good is.
Have to.
And the only way you can compare how good we have it is to see how bad someone else has it. So
100%.
I can see that
100%.
While we're kind of talking on a biblical standpoint,
amen.
Pastor Deacon Jarvis, Deacon Williams, this kind of crossed my mind, so I'm going off top with this one. The war that broke out in heaven with Lucifer, I guess.
Yeah.
What do you think that war consisted of, bro? Was it a fist fight or was it a spiritual? Like when people say a war broke out, what type of war are we talking about?
He threw the gloves down. My man said, "Hey, I want some of the, like I'm tight, sir. I'm tight. Gloves off. Put them up." Like, I couldn't tell you, bro. I'll be honest. I couldn't tell you what would make you, and kind of to your point, I couldn't tell you what would make you choose that much evil. Like, now you're the component of evil. You're the representative of evil.
You are, but
so you think God got slick out the mouth?
I have a hard time grasping how a war break out in heaven. This is the best place to be. This the perfect place, and somebody showed their ass there. How does that happen?
But kingdom, you got to think too. All throughout the Bible, all throughout stories, kingdom concepts all go back to choices that's made, and it all goes back to good and evil. Just because heaven is a perfect place doesn't mean evil can't reside somewhere or be somewhere or be felt somewhere.
I didn't know evil can exist in heaven.
What do you mean? What do you mean you didn't know evil can exist in heaven?
It's the perfect place. How?
It is I think that's a little bit, how do I say this politely? I think that's...
You get what I'm saying, though?
I see what you're saying, but I think that's a mentality that we have as as kids, that we just think heaven is this pure, perfect, and, place that just... You telling me all this time ain't nobody using profanity in heaven, though? Ain't nobody said, damn. Like, ain't nobody? No. You think that's never happened?
No.
I'm going to heaven, right? When I get up out of there, listen,
you can't talk about us as humans.
No,
We're talking about spiritually. We're talking about the spirits, the angels. That's different than what we know down here.
So you think that if I'm going across them gates, when I go across that line, you don't think that it's going to be, you think everybody's just like everything you've ever done is just like, you know what I'm saying? Like you start over, like I ain't say start over, but like you think there's nobody's had any, I won't say evil thought, but like negative thought or off thought or dispute, even a small dispute. You think there's no disputes, no nothing. You think it's just, we just floating and everything's just good and everything's white and golden.
No. I think you're confusing what I'm asking.
Talk to me.
So I think you're looking at it from how we, like our perception. I'm speaking on angels, spirits.
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? What you're saying. Like they would have no conflict. There's nothing to argue or go back. There's no evil thought to have. They're created perfectly. They wasn't created like us, born through sin, right? We come from sin, right? We ate off the tree, so our thoughts are not like their thoughts. Technically, they're, I would say, better than us or cleaner than the way we would think.
She ate off the tree.
Right. But
I'm sorry.
That's crazy. I guess I'm trying to tell you, we never had a chance in society, bro. Like humanity never had. If Lucifer could show his ass and get kicked out, right? I just think as humans, like we're just so far behind the 8 ball. Like the fact that they was in a garden and there was a serpent there, or like what did Lucifer really do that was that bad that hell was the consequence? I guess that's what takes me deeper. Maybe angels are held to a certain standard.
He always comes to kill, to steal, and destroy, period.
But he wasn't always like that.
But he got like that. It got like that. Now, what involved in him into switching that up, we're going to have to do some more research. We're going to have to dig deep. And we can come back next episode and do that. But here's my thing. My thing is she had a choice. She was told, not only had a choice, she was told She was told, do not eat from the fruit.
Okay.
Do not eat from the fruit on the tree of life.
Don't kill me for this one.
I ain't gonna do it. I'm just kidding.
Did she really have a choice?
Yeah.
Now stop. Let me say this.
Obedience.
You know hell was reserved before the devil was sent down there, right?
Okay.
So the point I'm making, if hell was reserved already before he showed his ass, that means we already knew at some point he's going to cut up and is already reserved for you to be down there. You and your third that you're going with. We ain't talking about a random saint or a random angel.
Right.
Talking about an archangel. Right? Talking about not a regular. An a leader. Minister of music. Which I always ask what kind of music was playing in heaven. What they jamming to in there.
Chief Keef.
But that was already reserved. So sometimes I dive a little deep. Just my thoughts.
No, go ahead.
Was he really in control? Or was it already premeditated that you were supposed to cut up to be the example of what evil looks like?
Here's my thought. That answer, I don't know, right? I don't know. Here's my thing. Now I got to ask you this.
Good.
Are you feeling like or implying that he's messed up for creating evil? Like he's wrong for creating evil?
I wouldn't say he's wrong for creating evil, but I question, did he create an op for himself just to show this is what evil looks like? For example, this is crazy, but I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
Sometimes I question, like, and my thoughts question is like, if hell was already reserved before he cut up, that means you knew that he was going to cut up and I'm going to send him there. So did I create him purposely to be that person? Which means it never was really his choice. You was born and designed to be this.
Okay.
Because it was created. Like hell wasn't created after he showed his ass, let me go create a place to put him in. We knew this already.
So in all the concepts that we go through now, you know, and us trying to be Christ-like and live Christ-like, in all these concepts we all have, I won't say we all have ops, but we all go through things. We all have our own conscience. We all have our own thought process that is evil and that's good. So the fact that he created that for, you know, he may have created that simply for us to now, to have a choice. So to your point, it might have been intentional. It
had to have been intentional.
Do you think he's wrong for that? That's what I'm asking now. Do you think he's wrong for doing that? Because in everything conceptually that we have, we need the devil. You see what I'm saying? We do.
Let me counter that.
Go ahead.
So I wouldn't say he's wrong for creating him to be, I guess, the example of what evil looks like.
Right.
However, why were we put on the same earth that he was on? We could have been anywhere else. We didn't have to be here with this spiritual divine nature of things we can't understand and things that's outside our nature. Why our good and evil couldn't been different choices of not elements that was on a spiritual realm for us to kind of comprehend and understand. I don't know the whole story if it was true, if it was a snake or whatever was in the garden, but we know it was something in there. We know it was something outside the human divine nature.
We talk about it. You know how I feel about, you know, like I said, I think the representation of what it was is, you know.
Eve was always supposed to eat off the tree. That's how the story was supposed to go. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Which would follow the mantra of he knows everything that we're going to go through. So so again, I get back to if he already knew. Now I'm kind of reversing it. Right. If he already knew, if he already created, if hell was already a preordained place before he got there, the serpent or Lucifer, whatever, is Jesus dead wrong? Is God dead wrong for doing that? Do you feel God is wrong for doing that? Or, and I'm not trying to convince you or sway you, or do you think, again, just the things that we live through today, everything that gets the best develops from struggle. It develops from pain. It develops from, you know, tension. Everything that's good that we have. Right.
Ain't a millionaire out there, you know, maybe a lottery ticket scratcher, and a millionaire out there that's received their money outside of inheritance too from straight up, you know, blood, sweat, and tears of something and pain. So, and then obviously there's more things outside of money. So that's my question. Do you feel like he's wrong for that, or are we almost glad he did? Because we don't know what all good looks like. No, we don't know that. We don't know what all good looks like.
We don't know what all good looks like, but we know the worst of the worst. And we see it happen even with kids being born with diseases and elements and things that are outside our nature that we can comprehend. Right. So my question would be, was it other options? Was there other examples we could have learned from to where it didn't lead to that? And also, too, I hate to say what's wrong and what's right is one thing to have an opinion.
Right.
We're not God. We'll never understand God's thoughts.
Right.
But one thing I asked myself when I read from time to time was, if you knew this was going to happen, why did you also stay regretting making mankind?
Let me talk about that. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that threw me off too. It's like, you knew on this day, I'm going to say, how could you regret something that you created specifically? You created this for your son, Jesus Christ. And once again, this ain't me trying to get biblical. I just have questions of like, why? And sometimes when you speak to like the church people, they give you biblical terms, but nobody had a real conversation to say, well, he meant this. It's kind of like, well, you open up this and then Peter and then this, it is. And that's, let's be real.
And I will say this, and we talked about this. That's where my happiness comes in at, is that I know it's okay to question. It's okay to question. Sure. It's okay to have, dilemma. It's okay to have, not worry, but it's okay to, not understand and to dive deeper into the word, to dive deeper into what it is. And me personally, I think that's the goal. I think the goal is, is that the perk? I think it is. You get in the perk. Get in. You get all the answers. I need you to be as curious as possible. Now, there are some people. Now, here's the thing. You can go to churches as much as you want. You can be as holy as you want to be. When you start to, if you can't have conversations like this, right, to where it's back and forth, and now, because guess what? Now we got to go and you got to dig up a little bit. I grew up in the church. You grew up in the church. Yeah. We have not. I don't think we have the Bible open every single day. No, you know what I'm saying, to read, and I know it's something that we can do, but now we go into it, we dig into it, we find things, we might find 2 or 3 things, based on what we know now, right. It's kind of off, but not off, but like we don't agree or maybe whatever.
For sure.
But I feel like conceptually, you're going to find many more things that relate to what we're going through today. Right. And I think that is the good in questioning. Questioning something does not mean, it ain't real. And that's my thing about it today. Sure. Today, everybody's like, it ain't real. No, it's question. Yeah. Because they are stories at the end of the day. They're all stories. They're all recollections. So I feel like it's great to question. And if I'm sitting up there and I'm God, I'm like, I got you.
Right.
You in my word. I don't want you in nobody else's word. Right, I want you questioning my word. You know what I'm saying? Over time, I give you the answer. But when you get up here to these gates, I give you the answer.
You know what? To sum up the whole biblical term.
I like that, dog. I ain't gonna hold you.
What I would hate is for life to end like a bad movie that you don't know the ending of. You ever see a movie go off and you like, what happened next? Or like, what was the ending of that? Like, did they ever bring clarity? I would hope that when our day do come, these questions are answered. Or we kind of know, this is what it was. Or, hey, damn, I never thought that. Or maybe we had some sort of meaning to why this was created or why God, done this with us, respectfully.
I got you.
I mean, that was a good one.
That was a good one. I like that.
Y'all don't come killing me now. I'm a believer in Christ.
And don't come killing me either. You know what I'm saying?
Just asking questions.
That boy Jarvis used to speak back in the day. Hey, look, man. Hey, look.
Deacon Williams.
No, Lord, you know my heart. You know where I'm at.
I got.
Man, I like that.
I got another one for you, and I'll wrap it up.
Talk to me.
Take your time with this one. It's a lot, but I really had to process this.
Let's go.
Okay.
Can't be more than that one.
Listen to yourself think. What does your mind voice sound like? Do you think your mind voice is inherent to your mind? Or do you think you develop your mind voice based off hearing your speaking voice? That's a lot. That's a lot.
Do I develop my mind voice?
When you hear yourself speak, that voice you hear in your head.
Right.
What voice is that? Is that a voice of you? Is that something you've created or inherited? You see what I'm saying? Like, are you hearing yourself or are you hearing another voice that speaks?
The substance behind my voice or the actual sound? What do you say? You mean the actual sound, the tone and all of that? Or are you talking about substantially what I'm saying?
So let me read it one more time. Because this is a lot to process.
Yeah,
it's a long question.
Let me get in my zone.
Listen to yourself think. What does your mind voice sound like? Do you think your mind voice is inherent to your mind? Or do you think you've developed your mind voice based off hearing your speaking voice?
Absolutely. I think you have. I think how you speak to yourself in your mind, you use the same slang, same words, same everything that you do with your actual voice. It's just a lot quicker and a lot better because you're not, exerting energy. You're not, it looked crazy just then.
That was extremely
Why did I do that? Why did I do that?
That example was wild.
Wow, man.
Yeah,
I'm tripping. Nah, but you're talking and you're thinking and like ain't nothing scripted what we got right now, but we're thinking, we're talking about it. But if I were to think about it, I would think about it a lot faster. But I think I'm using the same voice. I'm using the same words. I'm using the same, I feel like, it could be different for other people. What about you? You feel like it's the same or you think it's different?
No. What's wild is it doesn't have a pitch or a tone. It's like, it's really your thought that's speaking to you.
That's crazy.
I know when you think about it, take a minute. That's kind of wild. It's not nothing you can hear. It's a thought that's in your head, but the way you're interpreting how it's being worded is in your voice, I would think, naturally.
Like just not, like if I say, like if somebody does something, I'm like, hell nah. Like in my mind, I'm saying, and I'm thinking, hell nah. Like I'm thinking the exact same thing. I might say, might be a little more, profane in my words, but dang, that's crazy.
Nah, that's kind of deep.
I think it's that's what she said. I think it's the same.
Wow.
I think that's the same. I ain't never heard a question asked like that.
Yeah.
This was your best JE Q&A, dog. Yeah. Straight up, that was hard.
Oh man, we went in on that one. That was a good little topic.
That was hard.
That's a good little.
That was hard. I like
topic,
that, though.
Man.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, look, check this out. If you come for me and my dog for our beliefs and stuff, or our lack of knowledge on a couple of things here and there, hey, look, that we keeping it a buck. We keeping it real.
Right.
All right, we keeping it real. So save your opinions for the comments. We need the engagement. Nah, how about that? But peep though. Topic for the day. Pressing on with the main thing, despite people's attack on you and your journey. Keeping it going, keeping it pushing, staying focused on your purpose. We all have gone through it, but a lot of times when we try to get to a certain goal, little small or smaller, other goals come into the play, but a lot of times distraction comes into play, or people who are attacking us, like blatant attacks come into play when we're trying to get to where we're going. And it's hard to stay focused. It's hard to stay, parallel to the route. And obviously speaking on Shedeur Sanders and what he went through, a lot of people say self-inflicted, whatever. A lot of people say, he's a jerk. He's an ass. He, interviewed terribly with teams or whatever. But, I think based on what we saw on social media, they did a really good job of keeping the main thing, because the point is to get drafted and go to the NFL. Right. It ain't to be, rude about it and say, hey, I ain't going in the fifth round. I ain't going in the first round, so I don't really care about this. No, I got drafted, man. And he was happy. He said, praise God. Thank God for the opportunity. I'm not going to let you down. I'm trying to win the Super Bowl. He done already been in the schools and been speaking. You can tell he kept the main thing. What about you? Have you gone through something where the distractions are so grand, it's hard. It's been hard for you to keep the main thing, and you maybe have even been so distracted that the main thing you thought was here and you forgot that it was, over here. Like, has that ever happened to you in any situation? Not just football, but any situation.
No, definitely. I'd be lying to you if I said it didn't. And it's not always easy to keep the main thing. I guess that's why they say life be lifing, right? There's so many different moving parts that come with it. But I always tie it into the game of sports and the game of football for me is because they teach you how to embrace adversity. We're going to always deal with something. It's never going to go completely your way, and it's about how you respond to it, blocking out the noise and being prepared for when that moment do happen. But the beauty of it is figuring out how to become your best, knowing things aren't going well, right? So I think the bigger test outside what Shador is dealing with is how do you deal with the media? How do you deal with social media? How do you deal with people, fans, and people having this idea of what they think you should be, and then you end up here completely left? If he wrote a book 2 days before the draft, it would have never turned out to be what he thought it was.
Never. Nobody would have guessed that.
A lot of people would have lost a lot of money if they bet their life on the line where they thought Shador was going to go. So the story for him is going to be, how do you respond, right? This is going to go one of two ways. You're going to respond great, and they feel like, damn, he's better than what we thought. Or you're going to respond poorly and say, you know what? This is why. This is why we didn't take you here. But me personally, I felt like he was a first-round talent and definitely a top 2 quarterback. Is no way. I think it got carried away, in my opinion, but no way that kid deserved to be picked 140.
Nah, not at all. And I tell you this too, like a lot of times what helps out with keeping your focus, and be honest, keeping the main thing is literally just going back to the basics. It's just going back to the basics. That man is surrounded by good family. I don't care what you feel about them. They supportive. They're there all the time. You see the same people in Deion Jr.'s videos. His daughter, the one to go to Alabama A&M. I don't want to mess up her name. I think it's like Shalimar, something like that. But she's always there. Obviously, Shiloh always there. Deion always there. They got family members that do it. People from Colorado. Travis is really always there. Mm-hmm. Like, they surround themselves with people where it's like something's happening, but it's got to feel good to have a support system around you like that. You feel like you had a support system around, like, no matter what happened. Mm-hmm. Mom passing, maybe you had a draft store, I don't know, but whatever it was, like, you went through some things and it's like, bro, like, the same people are here. That makes it a little, things are rough, but that makes it just a tad bit easier to know you got a support system that's resilient right along with you. Because it's hard to be resilient and you're the only voice you're hearing. You the only voice you hearing? It's hard to be resilient, though. That's tough.
It is. And to answer that question, I think what's tough is, yes, the family that was there were there, but you look at Josh from 18 to, let's say, 21, 22. Right. Think about it. I didn't go to college in New Jersey. So a lot of that growth for me of becoming a young man is totally different than the kid they knew from 1 to 17. You see what I'm saying? I'm a whole different person. I got total different thoughts. Irvington is such a small town, and then you get to Gainesville, which is also another small town, but a football town, but you playing in different states, cities, and meeting new people. You kind of learn new habits. But I would say this. Things could have been a lot better, and I don't blame them for that. But I do got nephews that's playing, and I plan on making a change in their lives to show them how much support, it really means and you need as a player. Definitely during those situations.
Yeah. Sure. I also think a gift for anybody to have is to find a way to turn, like, the criticism into, like, constructive growth.
I think they're going to kill that.
Dog.
You done motivated these people,
dog.
Come out of. I'm telling you, bro. For the money they said that was lost, how much money they said? 30-something million or 40-something million that was lost, dropping that far. And I guarantee you, it's either going to be a Netflix documentary or something that's going to happen, or a show going to pull up. He's going to get that back.
All that up.
Yeah,
he already tied in with Tubi. He can get Netflix if he want.
Yeah.
I think he got a show on Amazon.
He got a Delta deal too. I think he just got that with the airline.
I think he dropped it.
Oh, he dropped it? I
heard he dropped the Delta deal. Really? I honest to goodness heard he dropped the Delta deal. Now, I got to check the sources. But I heard allegedly he dropped the Delta deal, but it's like money ain't the issue. But I think outside of the money, the fact that they so motivated now, there's so more. I think everybody motivated. I think Shiloh motivated going undrafted, going to Tampa Bay. He got to show people who he really is. Deion motivated to show that I can play without, he's never coached without his son.
Right.
Never. Like, he's motivated to show, like, y'all just pay me this money, I gotta show you what it is. And obviously Shador is now, motivated on a team with 5 quarterbacks. 5 quarterbacks. Yeah,
that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And already, you talk about influence and impact already. He already has the highest jersey sales of any rookie.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? I thought Trav would do, we got the teal and the green down here. I mean, teal and black, teal and white. I thought that jersey would go crazy.
You know what's wild, bro? I'm actually excited for Shiloh, bro. Like,
I am too. He a buck, baby.
I'm excited for him. I know the brother get more the press and highlight.
Right.
But I think he's going to have a story. And I think he got so much to prove.
Yeah.
And as we know, this game is all about opportunity.
That's it.
It's man down, man up. And he's going to get that at some point.
At some point. He's going to be a special teams nightmare.
Yeah. Gotta.
Nah, you don't have to be
crazy
too.
on the team. No, you got to respectfully. Got to go crazy on teams.
Keep it a buck. You are a safety that let's be honest. You are a better prospect and a better player up until this point than Shiloh was or whatever. Mm-hmm. Can Shiloh play in the NFL successfully as a safety during scrimmage plays? Can he be a successful safety on scrimmage plays? If he can't, I'm calling down the $1 place and I'm having a conversation with him.
I'm going to keep it a whole buck.
Okay.
It depends on how they use it.
Okay.
And then I'm not trying to take the easy way out. I mean, every player is used different.
Right.
From what I've seen, Shiloh's not a cover guy to me. Don't put him in coverage. Right. You get what I'm saying? He can tackle. He'll make plays in open space. Got a little bit of range to him. You see what I'm saying? But he's not a freak. He's not nobody who's going to blow you out of the park.
Right.
But he can make plays. So in a good situation, a good scheme that's not overly using him to do things that he's never really done, you can probably get the best out of him. But you put him in them situations where he's forced to guard that slot or an athletic tight end or somebody who can give him some movement, I don't think you get the best out of him in that situation.
I don't think you get the best out of him going, downside hike, he going backwards. He going back, he backpedaling, he in 2, he in 3, whatever. I just, like you said, he obviously he can play.
Let's be real.
But it's
here.
Like, come on. In front of him, I like him.
He's in a position, and most guys are, when you go in the later rounds, or undrafted, right? You got to come in with the mindset of, I'm going to be a special team guru. Have to.
That's true.
Have to, because you're probably not even rocking with the 2s yet, or the 3s. Right? The 2s and 3s are bubble guys. Those are guys I might be here and gone tomorrow. You probably not in that mix, but I guarantee you, they see you make a play on kickoff. They see your ass make a play on punt block, punt return. You see what I'm saying? And you kick return, a block or something you do. I done seen a lot of guys get 10, 12 years, boy. They ain't the best athlete or best at that position, but a war daddy on special teams.
Give me a UDFA in Jacksonville, and for those that don't understand, that's undrafted free agent. Mm-hmm. Give me a UDFA that you saw that went crazy and made the most out of his situation.
One that come to mind off top. There's no way in hell Allen Hearn should have went undrafted. It's no way. No way. And he came, and I remember Allen came there day one, and I'm like, man. And shout out to his
mom too. Yeah.
Definitely. 2 amazing people.
Yeah.
2 amazing people. I'm looking at this kid his rookie year, and I'm like, his work ethic is crazy.
Yeah.
The way he run routes. And he's quiet. He's humble. He ain't cocky. He ain't in the media. He ain't looking for none of the crowd. He came to work every day. And I'm like, whoa. And I saw him climb the ladder. I'm like, wait, this is our number 1 receiver, undrafted rookie from Miami that should have been drafted. So I'm telling you, everybody's story is crazy of how does this happen? Yeah. And it was no bad stigma or nothing that I knew about, but that was just one guy off top that come to mind that 2 years, I think after 2 years, signed a $50-something million deal.
Wow.
Shout out to Allen.
Wow.
Man.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, that's it, man. I really wanted to just know, like I said, I wanted to know the mentality behind that. Cause like I said, everybody ain't got Deion Sanders at their hip.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Mentally. Like you said, a lot of people deal with family and they like, their family's not there right then and there. They're not around. And it's like, you got to find in yourself at some point, you have to find some sort of resilience to say, if everybody dropped off, am I still going to push myself to a limit to make sure I don't not keep the main thing the main thing? I got to make sure my goals are my goals, and you got to be resilient at some point. At some point. Yeah. You develop new family along the way, but at some point, you got to make it up for yourself.
You got to factor in their distractions as well. Like, for Shiloh and Shador to make it was really the cherry on top. It wasn't a need. They didn't have to go play in the NFL. At all. You see what I'm saying? I'm sure that trust fund and what they dad made in the NIL and money they like, this wasn't the end of the road for these kids. So that's different compared to people who might not have the support, ain't got no money, ain't had the NIL. Like, they're in a total different position than what we were. So, they're blessed. They're in good hands, and they're going to keep fighting and pushing and striving forward. And like anything else, when that bump is in the road, you got to find out how to make the best of it and get through it like anything else.
That's a fact. And wrapping it up, in keeping the main thing, make sure and this sounds cliche, but it's uber important. Make sure all negative aspects of your journey, or people who try to highlight negative things in your journey outside of criticism or outside of constructive criticism, make sure that's gone. All right. Make sure you get rid of that, because there are going to be people that do not want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you elevate, and they're going to distract you. They're going to shift your focus, and the main thing is not going to be that anymore. It's going to be somewhere down the line, and now you got to deal with all these distractions first. By the time you get back, it's a wrap. So eliminate as many negative aspects as possible, but please, especially to my young athletes out there, stop confusing quote unquote negative aspects with someone who telling you and getting in your ass about, your position or your major or your reliability or your availability, whatever it is. If somebody's getting on to you, it's likely for a reason. And understand and know the difference between constructive criticism and somebody being negative and a hater. There's a big time difference. And a lot of you young men and women, unfortunately, are falling out of line with the main thing in your goals and your career and your life, because you think someone's being quote unquote mean when they're just trying to extract the best out of you. Do not let that happen. Know the difference between constructive criticism and negativity and hatred towards who you are, and you'll be good. They all over the place. Promise. Know the difference. Got anything else, bro?
I'm good, brethren.
Back to work. It kind of felt good. I ain't gonna lie to you. Season 1 will be wrapping up here very, very soon. Please understand that and know that. But then we will take a little slight break, and then season 2 gonna come up, and we got some things in store. We having a good time. We've been telling y'all for the past 7 months, that we got more, and we promise we got more. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a ride. Keep on following us, the Keep It a Buck Pod on IG, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Josh and Jarvis Keep It a Buck. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification button so when we do upload anything, you'll be the first to know. We appreciate it. Take care. You good?
Great.
We out. Buck was kept. It's your boy Jarvis Williams, a.k.a. Mr. Six. Hey, do me a favor. I need you to like. I need you to comment. I need you to subscribe. I need you to share. I need you to click that notification button. So when we post a new video, the banner come down and you can see it on your phone. We appreciate all y'all support. We love y'all. And make sure you stay keeping it a buck. All right? Let's go.